ஆல் இண்டியா ரேடியோ செய்திக் கதம்பம்.
சென்னையில் நேற்று இந்திய தர நிர்ணய அமைவனத்தின் உலக தர நிர்ணய தின நிகழ்ச்சி நடைபெற்றது. இந்நிகழ்ச்சியில் கலந்து கொண்டு உரையாற்றினார் தமிழ்நாடு டாக்டர் எம்ஜிஆர் மருத்துவ பல்கலைக்கழக துணைவேந்தர் டாக்டர் சுதா சேஷையன். அவர் பேசுகையில்,
Standardization is something that nature has taught us, and probably standardization is required not only in science, in industry, and in the implementation of various gadgets, but then standardization is a must in every sphere of human activity. I come from the medical world, and I'm sure there are people who are involved in the designing and standardizing of medical equipments and gadgets. Even in science, for that matter, pure science, biology, botany, zoology, the terminology itself is standardized. If I would want to refer to a plant here and someone else in a different part of the world, if the terms are not standardized, we could land up in chaos. And that is why, if you take every sphere of scientific activity, you find there is something called an international nomenclature, and that is in a way standardizing the terms even. We are at the crossroads when we begin our journey into the decade that will be the action decade for the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals have been designed and given to us in such a way that we make the earth a place for sustenance and a place for human living. But I sincerely believe SDGs cannot be read in isolation. If we need to understand and work towards SDGs, it is very essential that we associate SDGs with two other international meets of understanding. One, the Paris meet, which concentrated on the climate change, and two, the Sendai framework, especially in relation to disaster management. We think of development, we work towards development, but history has taught us that disasters, calamities wash away whatever development had proceeded until then. And if we tend to look at these two in tandem, we'll be able to understand it is the climate change across the globe, not necessarily only the globe, but then across even the galaxy, that leads to several of these development goals becoming unsustainable. So it is very essential, at least as we design and chalk out our practical plan towards SDGs, these two other charters are read along with SDGs. All of us do know about the SDGs. The SDGs are a part of the universal call. I would even say it is not a plain call to protect mankind, but then it is a call to protect mankind's dwelling. It is a call to protect mankind's sustenance itself. It's been repeatedly told that the SDGs are integrated in such a way that action or even inaction in one of the notified areas will influence the outcome in the other areas. I would like to reiterate this because it is not only the action, but then inaction in a particular area will also be leading to failure of SDGs. Not one, but 17 goals have been defined, targeted. A mere cursory look at all of them would convince anyone that none of these goals is achievable on singular planes. It cannot be one single organization, one single institution, one single country that can work towards SDG, but then it has to be a shared vision as the theme of discussion indicates. You all know, and we all know for that matter, the details of the SDGs. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. But the fact that all of us would have to understand is that all these activities towards SDGs require a continuum of contribution. It cannot be a sporadic activity. It has to be a continuum. And in turn, this continuum would be inducing a chain of events. Much thought has gone into the adoption of these SDGs and also in defining them. How collectively all of us can instill values which will go into the implementation of the SDGs. Let us take Goal 12, for example. The Goal 12 says responsible consumption and production. For many years, and even now, for most of us, consumption depends on individual affordability and accessibility. Ask someone as to why do they have an air conditioner at home. The answer would be, it is not possible to survive these days without an AC. And probably the next answer, which may be a little curt or sometimes a kind of hidden reaction, what is your botheration? I can afford an AC. So to most of us, consumption is dependent on the affordability, individual affordability, economic affordability. And several times, level of consumption was decided by one's status and authority. If I belong to a higher stratum of status, I can afford more than 3 or 4 air conditioners at home. So that was a dependence on the status and probably sometimes authority and so on. All those things which go into the realm of authority and affordability. Denial of consumption of such things automatically followed suppression and oppression. But let us think of Goal 12. If it has to be responsible consumption, would consumption be dependent on individual or economic affordability? I can afford an air conditioner. All of us can afford an air conditioner. But will the planet be able to sustain itself? In other words, can this planet afford this amount of fumes and gases getting over it? So slowly, the switch will have to be from economic and individual affordability to collective affordability which will be dependent on the planet's sustenance. I suppose this holds good for every bit of activity that we are involved in. Nature had saved so many things for us, including water. But what have we done? We have depleted nature's resources. If only nature is not protected and preserved, what kind of sustainability can we anticipate? Standardization of values, standardization of the human power, standardization of responsibility will be required, and let us all, with that standardization, strive towards the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals.
இத்துடன் இன்றைய செய்திக் கதம்பம் நிறைவு பெறுகிறது.